Hey, Carl Wilkens here, and I'm really glad that you guys are doing a Holocaust Day at your school. That is fabulous. Elisa, thanks so much for including me. I'm really happy to be part of this day, and wish I could be there to meet all of you one by one. Especially like to meet you, Mr. Harry. Thank you for coming. I heard you're coming to share your story today, and that is fabulous. Not just your story, your heart, and all those memories. Really appreciate it. I hope our paths cross one day. Um, well, guys, I'm going to just share a quick story with you from the Rwanda Genocide that I think kind of can tie into some of the conversations you're having today about why we remember the Holocaust and stuff. And one of the things I think I'd like to just make kind of maybe central today is the idea of when we're in trouble, when we're in a crisis. I mean, as horrible as a genocide, Holocaust, or perhaps something like you get in trouble at school, there's one thing we've always got to look for, and that's an ally. We've got to look for an ally. You know, a lot of times we feel we're alone and no one else is, but there are allies out there. We miss them often because we don't look for them, or somebody to partner up with, or we miss them because we don't believe that they're a potential ally. And sometimes, I'm sure Harry could probably tell you stories, allies come from some very unexpected places. You know, if we believe that every single person has the potential to make at least one good decision today, that potential is there in their life, then we look for that good in somebody, and then we got a lot better chance of finding it. Anyway, the allies I want to tell you about today, most of you know that maybe, I'm guessing, that my wife and I made the decision that I would stay in Rwanda during the genocide, tried to protect two people we were hiding in our house. Unfortunately, they survived, and that's another story. But after the first 3 weeks of the genocide, when I finally was able to get out, the government, my home was in the section of the city controlled by the genocidal government. And when I managed to get out, I met the colonel who was in charge of that section of the city. A man, Renzaho is his name, a man who's in prison today for genocide and crimes against humanity, serving a life sentence. In any case, he's one of the first allies I would tell you about. Not that I would say he's a good guy, because he made terrible, terrible choices during the genocide, and thousands of people's lives were taken at that time, and so but he made some good choices, and he proved to be an ally. In any case, he directed me to two orphanages around the city that needed help. The one, Gasimba Orphanage, first time I pulled in the parking lot, there were fresh little graves in there of little children not killed by the genocide directly, but being killed by diarrhea, dysentery, all the moisture fluid going out of their body, and nothing to drink. So they were desperate for water, desperate for medicine, desperate for food. And that's what I spent most of the time of the genocide, was bringing food and water and medicine to three groups of orphans that were trapped around. One was just down the street from our home. But anyway, to haul water, well, that sounds great, but you got to have something to haul it with. I mean, I needed a truck, and I needed containers, and those are all stories. The way I got the truck, actually, the help of the colonel, that ally at that point, got a couple of different trucks from him, but found a Rwandan man who helped me to buy some old barrels that I think were, I don't know if they were abandoned or what, at like a syrup factory, candy factory, I'm not sure what kind of place, but it was a food product, so we knew it wasn't poisonous. But these barrels, big, what would they be, 200-liter barrels that we could haul water in, life-saving water for the kids. But they were kind of covered with gunk on the outside, and inside you could put your finger in the hole, and there was a little bit of film or gunk in there from whatever syrupy stuff and we didn't want to bring gunky water to the kids. And so I went to the place where we always collected water, and there was a long line, probably 300 or more people. And I'm thinking, okay, I can wait in line, that's no problem. But once I get there, I need to put water in the barrel, sand in the barrel, slosh it around, pour it out, more water, more sand, slosh it around, pour it out. And I got to do that for like 15, 18 barrels. And in any case, someone came up and said, can I help you? What's the problem? And I explained my situation. He goes, well, yeah, that's going to be a problem here. But just down the road, there's a place, a chemical factory place. It's, of course, empty now, but but they said there's a water faucet that's working there. Why don't you go try that? And I thought, okay, I mean, but won't there be a lot of people? Well, he says there's snipers. And well, long story short, I did go down there and I found kids, maybe about half a dozen or 8 kids down there, maybe 6 years old, 12 years old. And I come driving up with my truck and barrels, and these kids all come run up, Mzungu, Mzungu, that's what they call foreigners. And well, they wanted to help. I said, but what about snipers? Oh, they're not shooting bad, they said. And so these kids, with such courage, set up a little assembly line. You know, here, you hold your little hands over the hole at the top of the barrel like a funnel, and you pour some sand in, and then take it over here and put a little water, not too much, we don't want the barrel to get too heavy, and you guys roll the barrel up the hill there and let it roll back and up a couple of times, and then you guys hold it at the ditch and start to pour, and as I'm talking, machine gun fire busted out, and everybody dives for cover against the side of the building. Fortunately, the bullets were just hitting the roof of the building, but I'm like, this is crazy, we can't stay here and, you know, die getting water, and the kids were all like, no, just wait. There was an older boy kind of in charge. Just wait, he says. It'll be calm in a minute. And I was just looking at these kids. You know, we're sitting there leaning against the building. It was hot. We're sweating and stuff. And these kids, their courage, talk about fabulous allies. These kids, after it was quiet for a while, the oldest one said, okay, it's clear. We can go now again. And they all went back to their stations, and we went back. We worked for like 2 hours. Excuse me, like 2 hours. Cleaning all of our barrels, maybe with 4 or 5 machine gun breaks during the process. But I was so amazed at these kids. You know, for the adults, an enemy had been constructed. They were told the Tutsi people were the enemy and they had to be eliminated. And this whole process of constructing enemies by labels and mostly so much fear goes into the idea of constructing an enemy and then thinking we have to eliminate an enemy. And as I think about those kids, I don't think they were as controlled by the line about an enemy. I don't think they had bought in so much to the idea of an enemy. Kids are just fabulous in so many ways. And these kids, they learned how to make something that could have been terrifying into a game. You know, it's again and again I see this in Africa. It's not so much what you don't have that defines you. It's what you do with what you have. So anyway, I think I went over my 5 minutes, but really glad you guys are having this day, and I hope we can connect again, maybe on Facebook. World Outside My Shoes is our Facebook page, or some way we'll connect up. But thanks again, Elisa, and Harry, thanks for what you're doing, and we'll look forward to meeting up, maybe on Skype, maybe in person. Take care. Where's the stop button? Right.